The way she looked, I knew she was in pain, and the first thing I did was give her my jacket.
He says it happened in seconds. His dinner at the Arigato Japanese Steak and Seafood House in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, was interrupted by a boom.
This shit just caved in, bro.
That's what he told the CBS News affiliate station WFMY when it happened less than a month ago, July 19th. He posted video of the aftermath and it went viral, millions of views on social media. Some people concerned about the woman seen laying on the floor, while others called her a liar for possibly faking an injury. But legal experts say she did the right thing in that moment, because when a ceiling comes down on you, you don't know what you're exposed to in that ceiling and how bad your injuries are in the moment.
She was crying, and honestly and truly, I didn't know what was going on.
Missing nails in a section of the drywall, that'll do it. The restaurant's general manager told reporters a few days after it all happened that 3 customers were injured, including the woman seen laying here on the restaurant floor.
She probably could have been embarrassed, anything like that, because I know if it would have happened to me, I would have felt the same way just like her.
The Shade Room did some digging, and we found that since 2016, 6 building alteration and repair permits were issued, everything from exhaust to general plumbing and electrical repairs. According to WFMY, a building inspector determined that a drywall panel that fell, in this case, was missing several required nails, and then over time, it fell. And shockingly, the county health department there gave the restaurant the green light to reopen. But on Facebook, management telling the customers, quote, that we have chosen to err on the side of caution and close Arigato Winston while we do what needs to be done. It'll be a while, so please bear with us, end quote. Can you imagine sitting down for dinner with your family and the ceiling collapses on you? Scary. What's even scarier is that this can happen anywhere at any business or building with a landlord that's negligent and doesn't maintain their property. That's why we've partnered with Top Dog Law, the official partner of the Shade Room. They handle roof and ceiling collapses where innocent victims are injured due to negligent businesses and landlords who fail to maintain their property. When you need help, insurance companies often try to lowball, delay, and deny your claims. They want you settled fast before you realize what your case might be worth. That's where Top Dog Law fights for you. Over $1 billion won, more than 7,500 5-star reviews, and they're the fastest growing personal injury firm in the country. Top Dog helped one client go from a $45,000 initial offer to over $975,000, and another from a few $100 to a couple $100,000. Trust me when I say insurance isn't working for you. You need someone on your side. If you are injured and need help, get a hold of Top Dog Law and see how much your case might be worth. It takes less than 5 minutes to get started, and your case might be worth a lot more than they're telling you. Call Top Dog Law. Their bark has bite.
Holy this is bull.
It got us to thinking about just the amount of building and ceiling collapses that have been happening just in the last few months. From one collapse to another. About 2 weeks earlier, July 6th, this video took off on social media. A BJ store in Ocean Township, New Jersey.
Close the store down.
In the video, you can see customers were shopping when the roof folds. An older man miraculously stays on his feet despite water gushing down into the store. It was raining hard that day.
We have 20% of the building collapsed in the rear of the BJ's building here, probably due to the severe storm that came through with very heavy rains, as you see.
But that doesn't excuse the structural integrity of the building itself. 27 people were injured in that. Thankfully, nobody was killed. But despite that, there are things you should do legally to protect yourself. But before we get to that, roommates, I just want to thank you for watching TSR Investigates. I know most of you are not subscribers, so if that is you, just make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe so you don't miss out anymore, okay? All right, let's get back to it.
There was nothing there. You know, it was just darkness.
These issues have dominated the headlines in years past, some more devastating than others. You remember June 2021, this condo building in Surfside, Florida? It collapsed in the middle of the night. 98 people were killed, one of the deadliest building collapses in U.S. history. 5 years later, federal investigators say they found serious problems dating all the way back to the building's original design and construction. There was a $1.2 billion class action settlement. However, none of the settling parties admitted any wrongdoing, and to date, nobody has been criminally charged in connection to the collapse. Also, concerns over high-rise safety, they aren't limited to Florida. You remember just last October,
people crying, oh, somebody was in there.
An explosion at a 20-story public housing high-rise in the Bronx, New York, caused a massive chimney shaft to collapse, sending bricks and debris crashing to the ground just feet away from a playground and across the street from a school. Remarkably, nobody was killed or injured, but the incident also raised questions about the building's maintenance, with records showing that there were boiler problems in the months before the collapse and a work permit issue just weeks earlier to repair it.
So they hire us. We give them a blueprint for how to correct the violations and to get into compliance.
Your job, a building inspector's job, can be the matter of life and death.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We sat down with a general contractor. His name is Gary Murray. He's also a consultant for a group called Compliance Construction Solutions. He has nothing to do with any of the buildings mentioned, but he's been fighting to help people in the construction and building industry do better, pass inspections, and get ahead of code violations. He's based in Philadelphia and says that the problem lies with businesses trying to cut corners.
We always make sure that we're doing things according to what the plans are, especially if it's new construction. We're always making sure that the subcontractors who come to work, they look well rested, they come to work prepared, and that they just generally all have all their documentation in order. A lot of the issues that we see that are surrounding these type of issues that are taking place are people dealing with contractors that aren't licensed, or do not have any type of track record in the particular areas that they're working in. In this day and age, people are still cutting corners. You know, people believe that, you know, when they're doing these large structures for corporations and things like that, that, you know, there's one company that they hire, and then that one company hires multiple other subcontractors underneath of them. So, you know, just because you hire that one big name doesn't necessarily mean that all the other trades are going to be in order and do the things that they should do according to plan. So it really takes great oversight for them as a general contractor to ensure that the contractors that they're pulling in are truly suited for the job.
What are some of the violations, the most
popular
violations you see?
So, you know, the most popular ones are, you know, just full out. You know, you get people who purchase a property and they don't have the knowledge as to what type of work requires a permit or not. And some people will go in thinking they can do a full gut rehab without any permits at all. And those turn out to be disasters 90% of the time. You know, very inexperienced people not going through the proper channels to be able to get the property done. And it starts in the beginning. You start off wrong in the beginning. You're not getting the proper permits, not getting the proper contractors, and it just dominoes through to where something's collapsing on somebody. So, you know, we try to, you know, we like for people to be proactive in doing the things the right way from the beginning. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of people jump into it and not having the proper knowledge as to how things should be done, go about it the wrong way, and they end up in these jams where they're getting stop work orders, the candy stripe stickers, as you see posted all around. You'll probably see dozens of those as you drive through the city, where you got the orange stickers for it being just unsafe conditions, abandoned property. And the property owners, some of them just don't know how to go about getting things corrected and getting things in compliance and safe. And we just want people to be safe.
Let's go back to BJ's. I did reach out to them for a comment. We're still waiting to hear back. We're also filing a request on the building itself and if there were past violations or concerns. Of course, we'll let you know what we find. But in the meantime, that is key right there. Experts say a simple step can protect both your health and your legal rights. Get checked by a doctor. Even if you feel okay and you follow through with any recommended treatment, make sure you write everything down. You remember everything that happened, where you were standing, what you saw and what you heard. Also take photos of any bruises you may have had, cuts or torn clothing, and keep the shoes and the clothes that you were wearing to that day. Save your receipts, your membership cards, or anything that proves that you were in a particular store that day. Also, ask witnesses for their name and phone numbers if you can, and avoid giving a recorded statement to any insurance company before speaking to a lawyer first. Remember, the little things can be beneficial if you do decide to pursue a case. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello, roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.